The moment Jacob's car slams into another vehicle on a quiet night drive home from dinner, one of his closest friends is killed in the back seat. Within seconds, Jacob goes from a successful stockbroker with a loving wife and a young son to a man facing years behind bars. What he doesn't know yet is that this single mistake will turn him into someone his own family won't recognize. Jacob had a good life, a steady career, a wife who supported him, and a 4-year-old boy who adored him. One night, he and his wife go out to dinner with a group of friends, including a man named Tom. Everyone is in a good mood, laughing and talking business over drinks. On the drive home, Jacob is behind the wheel. For just a second, he takes his eyes off the road. That's all it takes. Another car slams into them, and Tom dies in the crash. The police charge Jacob with driving under the influence and vehicular manslaughter. His lawyer lays out the options plainly: fight the case in court and risk 7 years in prison if he loses, or admit guilt and accept a shorter sentence of 16 months.
No.
8 months.
No. No, we're fighting this.
If we do, I'm facing 7 years.
You win this. You face.
Jacob's wife wants to fight. She even offers to sell their house to pay for a real defense, but Jacob refuses. He believes he's responsible for Tom's death, and he tells her he deserves to serve his time. He takes the plea deal. Before he's sent away, his lawyer warns him about what's waiting for him inside. The prison is full of dangerous men, and if they sense weakness, they'll use it against him. Jacob doesn't fully understand what that means until his first night, when he watches a group of inmates attack a helpless newcomer in the dark. Nobody stops it. Nobody even looks away. That night, Jacob makes a decision. If he wants to survive in here, he can't be the victim. He has to become someone else. The next day, out in the yard, an inmate tries to intimidate him, shoving him around in front of everyone. Jacob doesn't back down. He fights back hard, beating the man until guards pull him off. Word spreads fast. The other inmates start looking at him differently now, with a mix of caution and respect. That reaction catches the attention of Bottle, the leader of a powerful prison gang called the Brotherhood. Bottle sends one of his men to bring Jacob in for a conversation. He tells Jacob something simple but chilling. In here, you're either the one who gets hunted or the one who does the hunting. There's no room for anything in between. If Jacob wants protection, he needs to join them. With no real choice, Jacob agrees. Around this time, his wife visits with more bad news. Tom's family is suing them for wrongful death, and the legal costs are piling up. She's even considering dropping out of school to help cover it. Jacob won't allow that. He tells her to stay in school and use the equity in their house to fight the lawsuit instead. She reluctantly agrees. Back in the yard, the gang starts testing him. First, they ask him to move drugs between different parts of the prison. To prove his loyalty, Jacob hides the package inside his own body and smuggles it across without getting caught. Bottle is impressed, but the tasks don't stop there. Soon, they order him to kill another inmate, a man who had snitched to the guards. Jacob doesn't want to do it, but refusing Bottle means putting his own life on the line. He goes through with it, and in that moment, something in him changes for good. He's no longer just trying to survive prison, he's becoming part of it. Jacob rises quickly through the ranks after that. The other members start calling him Money. Then one day, gang tensions boil over into an all-out riot. Every Brotherhood member is expected to take part, no exceptions. In the middle of the chaos, Jacob sees a man named Gomez, an ally of the gang, about to be killed by a rival inmate. Without thinking, Jacob rushes in and kills the attacker to save him. It's the right move for his standing in the gang, but it's also caught in full detail by a prison security camera. The footage goes straight to court. Jacob's wife has to sit and watch video proof that her husband committed murder inside prison walls. The judge adds 9 more years to his sentence for the killing and his deepening ties to the gang. When it's over, Jacob turns to his wife and tells her to forget he ever existed. He's transferred to a maximum security facility built for the most violent men in the system. Here, prisoners are so dangerous that even their 1 hour of yard time is spent locked inside individual cages. It's in this new environment that Jacob meets Beast, the true head of the Brotherhood gang across the entire prison network. Beast has heard about what Jacob did for Gomez, and he likes what he hears. Meanwhile, back home, Jacob's wife files to end their marriage. When another inmate tries to offer him sympathy about it, Jacob makes it clear he was the one who pushed her to do it. He believes cutting all ties is the only way to protect the people he loves from the world he's now part of. Jacob keeps proving himself. When a man disrespects Beast during yard time, Jacob attacks him without hesitation. Guards have to pull him off, but Beast watches with satisfaction. Impressed, Beast has a guard bring Jacob in for a private talk and rewards his loyalty by by naming him second in command of the entire gang. Years pass. After 7 years total behind bars and with a spotless disciplinary record, Jacob finally appears before a review board. They approve his release. For the first time in years, he lets himself imagine seeing his wife and son again. But before he can walk out, a corrupt guard hands him a phone. It's Beast calling with an order. He wants Jacob to run a massive weapons smuggling operation the moment he's free. Jacob refuses. Beast responds with a threat: cooperate or his family pays the price. Jacob has no real choice. He agrees. That night, he writes one last letter to his son, telling him to live a good life and to forget his father ever existed. He folds it up and waits for morning. The next day, Jacob walks out of prison a free man. Waiting outside is Shotgun, an old associate who's also finished his time. Shotgun introduces him to Howie, a young man with no criminal record and a background as a trained military sniper. Jacob makes his rules clear immediately. Howie answers to him and no one else. Howie agrees. That night, the group throws Jacob a welcome back party. He steps away for a moment, and while he's gone, gunfire suddenly rips through the room. Chaos erupts. Jacob dives for cover, then manages to escape with Howie before the police arrive. What Jacob doesn't know is that a parole officer named Kutcher already has him under surveillance. Kutcher's team has learned that Jacob is connected to Beast's operation and is expected to lead a major weapons deal. They start building a case, hoping Jacob will lead them straight to Beast. Over breakfast one morning, Howie finally explains where the guns are coming from. During his time in the military in Afghanistan, he stumbled onto an abandoned stockpile of weapons meant for local forces. He kept it secret, and after leaving the service, he connected with Shotgun to find a way to sell them. Later, Jacob meets with Kutcher for a routine check-in. Kutcher asks if he was at the party that got raided. Jacob lies, producing a hotel receipt as an alibi. Kutcher doesn't buy it, but without solid evidence, he lets it go for now, handing Jacob an emergency contact number before he leaves. Before we continue, please help us reach 1,000 subscribers by just clicking the button. Thank you. Jacob then visits his wife. She tells him she gave up her dream of becoming a designer to support their son alone, and she's still angry that he cut off contact for 7 straight years. She brings up the letter he sent from prison, saying it read like a goodbye. He doesn't answer. Instead, he offers her an envelope of cash. She refuses it, assuming it's dirty money, and tells him plainly that walking away from them again means never seeing her face. Jacob tells her this really might be the last time. That night, at a bar meeting with the crew, Jacob asks Shotgun if everything is set for the weapons deal. Shotgun assures him there won't be any police interference. Jacob has his doubts, but lets it go for the moment. After the meeting breaks up, Jacob decides to follow Shotgun. What he finds stops him cold. Shotgun is meeting secretly with Kutcher and other officers. Shotgun has been feeding information to the police the entire time. Kutcher pushes him to wear a wire during the deal, but Shotgun refuses, terrified of what will happen if he's caught. They settle on tracking his phone instead. The one thing keeping Shotgun cooperative is a promise: protect his girlfriend and don't let the signal go dark. Jacob watches all of this from a distance, saying nothing, but clearly rethinking his next move. The following morning, his wife shows up with their son, Josh, who steps out of the car to talk to his father face to face. Josh pleads with him to come home, to leave this life behind and start over as a family. Jacob tells him it's not that simple anymore and shuts the door on him. From inside, he notices an unmarked car parked outside. The police are watching his every move. That's when Jacob sets his real plan into motion. He tears his bedsheet into a makeshift rope, breaks out through a bathroom window, and slips away undetected. He meets up with Howie and asks to rent a clean, untraceable car. He also asks for Shotgun's home address, claiming he wants to personally pick him up before the deal. Howie hands it over without question, and even admits something along the way. He has no real interest in joining the gang long term. He just wants to sell the weapons and walk away with the money. Meanwhile, Kutcher and his team prepare to follow the operation closely, expecting Jacob to lead them straight into the middle of it. On the day of the deal, Jacob buys a knife and other supplies from a hardware store, then drives straight to Shotgun's house. Shotgun, still waiting on instructions from the police, hears a knock and grabs his gun defensively. But when he realizes it's just Jacob, he lowers his guard and opens the door. Jacob doesn't hesitate. He stabs Shotgun repeatedly until he's dead. Outside, Kutcher is watching the house, waiting for movement, completely unaware of what's happening inside. Before leaving, Jacob sends a text with the deal's coordinates from his own phone to Shotgun's, then places the phone in plain sight near the body. When Kutcher finally goes to check on the house himself, he finds blood on the floor and Shotgun's body lying still. He immediately sends officers to Jacob's place, only to learn he's already fled through the bathroom window. Going through Shotgun's phone, Kutcher discovers the text with the deal's location. He has no idea Jacob sent it himself. Believing it's a real lead, he decides to track it. Jacob, meanwhile, rejoins the rest of the crew and lies about looking for Shotgun and finding no one home. When someone tries calling Shotgun's phone, Kutcher, holding onto it, doesn't answer. With no response, convinced, the group decides to move forward with the deal without him. As they prepare to transport the weapons, Jacob learns the guns are Russian imports, untraceable by American authorities. The crew loads everything and heads for the buyer, but partway through the drive, Jacob turns his phone on deliberately. It's the exact phone the police have been trying to trace ever since the coordinates were sent. The signal lights up on Kutcher's radar immediately. Jacob then pulls off the road, telling the others to keep driving with the shipment while he takes a detour with Howie. Once they're alone, Jacob points a gun at Howie's head and demands the full truth. Howie breaks down and admits he lied earlier. There were never 1,000 guns. There were 2,000, and he'd been planning to sell the extra 1,000 separately without telling anyone. Jacob forces the location out of him, then tells him to jump out of the moving car. Howie does, and Jacob takes the wheel alone, throwing his phone out the window before rejoining the others at the deal site. At the meeting point, the buyer arrives with a bag full of cash. Just as the money is being counted, police units storm the location. Officers open fire, and Jacob dives for cover as the entire operation collapses around him. Everyone at the scene is arrested. From a distance, Howie watches it all unfold, making sure Jacob is taken into custody before disappearing. Days later, Kutcher visits Jacob in custody with an offer: testify against Beast, give up everything he knows about the Brotherhood, and his life sentence could be reduced or even avoided completely. Jacob turns him down flat. He knows that if he walks free after everything he's done, Beast people will never let him live to enjoy it. Life outside no longer means safety. Kutcher realizes there's nothing left to bargain with and walks away. Jacob is sent back to prison, this time facing a life sentence. The moment he's alone in his new cell, he reaches into his own body and pulls out something he's kept hidden the entire time: a small handcuff key and a razor blade, smuggled in long before any of this began. The next day, a guard escorts him out to the yard cage where Beast is waiting, fully aware by now that Jacob had shotgun killed and blew up the entire weapons deal. Beast demands an explanation. Jacob gives him none. Furious, Beast threatens to have Jacob's wife and son killed for the betrayal. That threat is the last straw. As the guard moves to escort him back, Jacob quietly frees himself using the hidden key, overpowers the guard, and locks him inside an empty cage. Then he opens Beast's cage himself. Beast realizes in that instant that Jacob turned down a walk-free deal from the police for exactly this moment, to come back and settle things personally. Beast attacks him, and the two men fight brutally, but Jacob is the one who walks away, slitting Beast's throat with the razor. As Beast dies, Jacob tells him plainly that anyone who comes after his family will end up the same way. He returns to the guard and tells him what to report: that Beast attacked first, and everything that followed was self-defense. In exchange for the guard's silence and cooperation, Jacob promises to keep him paid the way Beast once did. With Beast gone, Jacob steps into his place as the new head of the Brotherhood, a position that now makes sure no one will ever dare threaten his wife or son again. Not long after, Kutcher receives an anonymous tip revealing the location of the remaining stolen weapons. His team raids the site and recovers them, closing out one more piece of the operation, still unaware of exactly who sent the message. Serving his life sentence, Jacob eventually receives a letter from Josh. His son writes that he's chosen to accept that his father may never come back into his life, and that he and his mother have learned to move forward without him. He forgives him anyway. Reading those words, Jacob finally lets himself feel everything he's been holding back. He looks at an old photo of his wife and son and quietly grieves the ordinary life he could have had if one distracted second on a dark road had never happened. Jacob never set out to become the man he turned into. He was just trying to survive one night, then 1 year, then a life sentence that never really ended. In the process, he lost the family he was trying to protect, even while giving up everything to keep them safe. What do you think? Was there any point where Jacob could have chosen a different path, or was he trapped the moment that car crashed? Let us know in the comments. If this story pulled you in until the very end, give the video a like, share it with someone who'd enjoy it, and subscribe for more movie recaps like this one. It really does help us keep telling these stories.